Coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV, we have an update on last week's homicide. Stay tuned to find out.
And later, campaign trail Kamala Harris holds a town hall at the IMU, and we've got all the details.
Megan Gustafson is now a WNBA player. Where did she get drafted last night?
We'll tell you more in sports.
We thought we left that snowy weather back in the winter, but is it back for one last hurrah? Stay tuned for weather to find out.
All that more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, it all starts right now.
Good morning, thank you for tuning in. I'm Sunny Zatz.
And I'm Declan Levy.
We apologize for earlier. We experienced some streaming difficulties at the beginning of the show, but we're back to give you all of today's stories.
That's right, Sydney, and we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it.
We have an update on the death of Jolene Browning, a UI healthcare employee who was killed in her Iowa City home last week. Medical examiners ruled 65-year-old Browning died of sharp force injuries by a possible knife. Police have not yet made an arrest, but have 15 to 20 investigators working on the case. Browning had 2 children and a husband of 42 years. For more information, you can stick with the Daily Iowan as the story develops.
Last night at the Iowa Memorial Union, presidential candidate Kamala Harris held a town hall meeting where she talked about what she would change in her current legislature if elected president. DITV reporter Melissa Meter has more on the story.
Presidential candidate Kamala Harris held a town hall in the IMU last night. She addressed the problems of the current administration and the changes she would make to the current legislation as president. Harris explicitly talked about the important impact teachers have on children.
I believe you can judge a society based on how it treats its children. Then we know one of the greatest expressions a society can make is an expression of love for its children is to invest in their education, and by extension that means investing in our teachers.
She said that on average, teachers earn less of a salary than those who had a similar college education, and she wants to change that.
What I'm proposing is what will be the first in our nation ever federal investment in closing that teacher pay gap.
Harris addressed the issue of discrimination in our society and that the Department of Justice needs to take it more seriously.
Would take seriously consent decrees where courts have made a finding that there has been discrimination, and then courts oversee what needs to happen in terms of reform.
Harris acknowledged the current administration's disregard to climate change and that we need to address the issue head on.
We know that there are supposed leaders in Washington, D.C. who are playing games and in the pocket of big oil and want to take us backward instead of recognizing this represents the greatest existential threat to who we are as a species, and it is in large part caused because of human behaviors which can be changed without much change to human lifestyle.
Reporting from the Iowa Memorial Union, Melissa Meter, DITV News.
The Johnson County Board of Supervisors vote to increase the county's recommended minimum wage 13 cents to $10.40 per hour. This is part of the 2015 three-step ordinance to annually increase minimum wage. Former Governor Terry Branstad signed a law prohibiting counties from raising wages above the state's minimum. However, the county will be setting this as a symbolic minimum wage and will not be legally enforceable. The Board of Supervisors also created a plan spanning multiple years to increase the base wage for all county employees, which will increase to $15 per hour from $14 per hour on July 1st. County Supervisor Rod Sullivan said this amount was decided after looking at studies that found a person who would need to earn just under $14 an hour to live in Johnson County. Ashley Monroe, Iowa City's Assistant City Manager, told the Daily Iowan that City Council wishes to see wages increase in steps, working towards $15 an hour by 2021.
Multiple fire trucks lined up on Iowa Avenue to put out a small kitchen electrical fire. No one inside the apartment was injured and no major damages occurred. The Iowa City Fire and Police Department responded to a phone call about gasoline and smoke smells in the hallway. Although multiple responders blocked off the intersection, Iowa City Officer Jeff Fink called it a minor routine check.
A recent national survey on bridges named Iowa the state with the third highest percentage of bridges in need of repair. According to the Federal Highway Administration, 19.4% of Iowa's bridges are in need of fixing. This comes behind Rhode Island's 23.1% and West Virginia's 19.9%. Johnson County's percentage of poor bridges is higher than the national average, with 22.3%. Allison Black, chief economist at the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, says this is part of a national problem. And Black told the Daily Iowan, quote, "America's bridges network is outdated, underfunded, and in urgent need of modernization. State and local government just haven't been given the necessary resources to get the job done," end quote. Johnson County is currently working on one bridge repair on Forever Green Road. The project is expected to end by this summer.
Well, we got to see Melissa earlier in the show, and now she's back to tell us more.
That's right, Declan, and it looks like she can do it all. We've got Melissa here in the weather studio. Tell us what we can expect this week. Hopefully it's not snow. Melissa?
Today you'll need to grab your umbrellas and hold on to them tightly. It's going to be a stormy and windy day. There's a 90% chance of rain and moderate winds around 25 to 30 miles an hour, with some gusting winds over 40 miles per hour. The temperature will be 62 degrees, but it will definitely feel colder with those winds. Luckily, those winds will die down a bit as we head into tonight. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy with a temperature of 34 degrees and mild winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now let's look at the extended forecast. It looks like the next couple of days are going to be a little bit crazy weather-wise. Friday will be cloudy with a high of 48 and a low of 31, with moderate winds around 25 to 35 miles per hour, and gusts again around 40 miles per hour. This weekend, temperatures warm up a little bit on Saturday, but cool down again on Sunday, and we might be getting an unwanted visitor. Saturday will be partly cloudy, with temperatures in the mid-50s, but come Sunday, temperatures drop into the low 40s, and I hate to say it, but the unwanted winter visitor might be back. There's a 60% chance of a mix of rain and snow. Heading into next week, it looks like we'll have some warmer temperatures. Monday will be partly cloudy with temperatures in the upper 50s. On Tuesday, temperatures warm up to the low 70s, but there's a 30% chance of rain at night. All I can say is you never know what type of weather you're going to get living in the Midwest. In our case, we might be getting snow and temperatures in the 70s in the same week. Let's just hope this is the very last time we see snow until next winter. Declan and Sydney, back to you at the desk.
That sounds just like home in Minneapolis. Now, you can experience tastes from all around the world right here on the University of Iowa campus. The College of Public Health hosted an event to make that possible, and DITV reporter Cole Otting is live in the newsroom with more. Cole?
Yeah, that's right, guys. There was a great turnout at the event yesterday. More than 50 people filled the room to share food, talk, and to play games. Fried plantains, shoe fly pie, and flan. These are just a few of the many dishes that were brought in for the potluck. The dishes were brought in by students and faculty alike as they were able to talk and play games.
The goal was just to invite anyone in the college to bring a dish that reflects a culture they identify with or a culture they admire. It's a great outlet for our international students to share their culture with us.
It's one of the many events put together by the college as part of a spotlight series every Monday and Wednesday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. According to Sophie, the event is open to all majors, so if you're ever in the area, don't be afraid to check it out. Sydney and Declan, back to you.
Cole Otting, live in the newsroom. Thank you. Healthy Lifestars, a nonprofit program devoted to encouraging children to live healthy lifestyles, just arrived in the state of Iowa for the first time. A team of volunteers started the organization because of the increased rate of childhood obesity in the U.S. College of Public Health Director Vicki Mean says that the UI students are now trained to teach the Healthy Lifestars program in elementary schools and all after-school programs. For more on the story, you can pick up a copy of our paper edition where print reporter Alexandria Scores tells more.
Declan, I don't know if you heard, but there's big news for one Iowa women's basketball player.
Absolutely. Let's get right to it and toss it over to John and Zach in the sports studio, guys.
Yeah, you guys certainly got that right. The day finally came for Megan Gustafson.
She heard her name called last night in the WNBA draft. She was picked 17th overall by the Dallas Wings.
The Naismith National Player of the Year is not looking too far ahead as she just wants to help her new team.
I think short term, just trying to go into it and work as hard as I possibly can to help out the team. And long term, I guess we'll find out. But again, I think right now I'm just so excited for what's going to happen, and I can't wait. I would just say that they're getting someone who's going to work hard for them every single day, who loves the game of basketball and is never going to give up.
Now, from one draft to another, we're just 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL draft, and every day leading up to the draft, we'll take a closer look at the Hawkeyes, hoping to hear their name called in Nashville.
We'll start today off with wide receiver Kyle Gronewig, who is known more as a return man.
At the Combine, Gronewig ran a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash, 4.08 in the shuttle, and a 1.52 in the 10-yard split, and he feels good about his performance.
I did every drill. I felt good. Bench press was good. I felt good running routes and stuff like that. It felt good to go out there and run routes again. I haven't really thrown a ball and, run routes, since bowl prep. I've been training with running certain routes the last 2 months, but to actually go out there and do it and, go on the field and, it really felt like I was playing a game again. You got all the eyes watching, the pressure's on and things like that, and it kind of felt good just to kind of get in that element again.
And although he's pleased with his Combine performance, Gronewig knows it will take more than strong numbers to earn this spot on an NFL team.
I'm hoping, teams give me a chance, for mini camps and, stuff like that, coming up. And, from there, I just want to play my way in. I realize, I can be on the bubble at this point in my career. I don't have a ton of, like statistics and stuff to back it all up. So I'm hoping I get a chance to, prove myself further from today.
You know what, Zach, I'll tell you, I'll take a 4.43 on the 40-yard dash any day.
You can't complain with that.
But it's looking like Gronewig's best shot at making it to the NFL would be to get picked up by a team for mini camps after the draft and free agency.
Then we have some exciting news out of rowing. Yeah, that's right. There is some buzz around the nationally ranked Hawkeye rowing team as they're hosting their first meet in over 3 years this weekend.
Kind of puts the pressure on, but in a good way. Just everybody's excited, the home court advantage. We've never gotten to experience that before.
We're really excited. Yeah, it's been 3 years and we don't have races here very often, so we're excited to race on Lake McBride. We were practicing out there in the fall, and we're excited to race on our lake and have our friends and family and local Hawkeyes come out to support us. We don't really know where we stand right now. Of course, we're ranked 13th in the nation right now, but we've got a whole season ahead of us, and I think we have so much more speed that we can find throughout the season, and I'm just really excited to see how much more speed we can find.
You know what, Zach, maybe we can drive over to Lake McBride on Saturday to watch the all-day meet.
Sounds like a plan. This weekend, Iowa Track will host the 20th annual Mooseco Twilight Invitational, and head coach Joey Woody was a little nostalgic talking about this upcoming meet.
I know I even ran in it back in the day, and so this is always one of my favorite meets. It's always fun to have some local talent, even some of our post-collegiate athletes that have competed at this meet. It's always been an awesome meet. So this weekend, we're looking to have continued performances. We're going to have some of our best athletes out there and competing at a high level, and it's a good tune-up for us before we get ready for the Mount Sac relays and then the Drake relays here in 2 weeks.
There'll be 7 schools at the meet this Saturday at the outdoor track.
That's all for us in sports, but tune in tomorrow for another look at a Hawkeye football player trying to get drafted.
Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up this Thursday morning edition of DITV, but be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, don't forget to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now. For DITV, I'm Sydney Zatz.
And I'm Declan Levy. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll be right back here tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in.